welcome back. Now that we have the heart of our story figured out, we can go ahead and make our plan. This is Making a Plan, Personal Narrative Edition. So, why do we need to make a plan? A plan keeps us on track and it keeps our moment small and it keeps our story focused on the heart of our story. A lot of times, writers think that just because something happened, you have to include it in your story. But that's actually not true. In fact, most authors leave things out or use what we call poetic license. So, what's important when making a plan? Most stories have 5 parts: an introduction, where you meet the characters and the scene is set, the rising action, where tension builds and things get dramatic, the climax, the most antagonizing, exciting part of the story, where the theme is typically figured out, the falling action or resolution, when they solve their problem or want or desire, and lastly, the conclusion, where things go back to normal and your character is usually improved in some way. So, those are our 5 main parts, and those are the main parts of a plan. On the right, I've taken every part of what happened in real life in that roller coaster story. I woke up, I got ready, they drove there, they rode 3 rides, they went to the bathroom together as a family, they got in line for the big roller coaster, they played I Spy with their brother, they played on the railing, they made it to the front of the line, they got on, they rode it, and they got off. All of those things happened during that day. But the author thought about the heart and theme of their story. My theme and my heart is facing my fears and riding that roller coaster. So, what I need to do is I need to look at my list and think, is this event important to communicating that idea to my reader, or can I get rid of it? Let's see. Waking up. Well, does waking up have anything to do with facing my fears? Not really. How about getting ready? Nope. What about driving there? Nope. Riding the 3 rides before it? Well, is that the part where I'm facing my fear or where I accomplish facing my fear? No, so I just don't need it. Going to the bathroom? Don't need it. Getting in line for the big roller coaster? Well, that could be the introduction, where I'm setting the scene and I'm explaining to my reader that my character is choosing to get in line even though they're scared. Playing I Spy with my brother. I just don't need it. That has nothing to do with being scared, and it has nothing to do with facing my fears. Playing on the railing. Again, that has nothing to do with facing my fears. Making it to the front. This is important, and I could include this in my story, because making it to the front of the line is when I feel the most scared. And by overcoming that fear, that's how I face my fear. So that's definitely part of the story. Getting on the ride. Well, yes, I had to face my fear when I got on the ride. Riding the roller coaster, that shows how I felt after riding the ride, which is important. And getting off, that's my conclusion. I get off as a braver person than when I got on. So, let's review. In all, what I did was, I thought about the heart of my story, facing my fears and riding the roller coaster. Then, I thought, which parts of my day were really important for staying focused on that one small moment and for accomplishing that goal, facing my fears? Well, it was these 6 parts. So now I can take those 6 parts and place them into the 5 main parts of a story. Walking to the big ride, that's my introduction. Waiting in line for the roller coaster as that tension builds and builds and builds, that's my rising action. And making it to the front is the rising action too. Actually getting on is the climax. I made that decision. I'm getting on. Writing it is my resolution. I had a great time. And lastly, my conclusion is getting off and feeling proud of myself. I could organize this in one of 2 ways. I could keep it as a list, I could place it onto a plot pyramid, or I could write or draw it out in a comic strip. All of these are options provided below and will be explained to you in further detail when you click on Creating My Plan, Discussion, or Assignment.